Krispy Kreme represents a fascinating case study with constant developments worth examining. There's no question these donuts have earned widespread appreciation. Given all the strong advantages this brand has maintained over the years, you'd anticipate far greater success by now. Consumers genuinely appreciate these donuts and hope to see the business thrive. However, just when it appears ready to expand significantly and establish itself as a major nationwide player, challenges emerge. Take the current situation. For instance, the outlook appears concerning. Although revenue has grown twofold since my previous coverage, profitability remains consistently elusive. When they went public again in 2021, marking their second IPO, shares ended their debut at approximately $21. That value has subsequently plummeted more than 80%, with the steepest decline happening in 2025, forcing them to halt their quarterly shareholder payments. The difficulties Krispy Kreme faces exceed what most would predict. I'm convinced multiple interconnected elements have created this situation. Throughout this analysis, I'll explore numerous aspects while detailing what I consider the 8 primary factors behind these challenges. Moving too slow. Let's examine this from various angles. Krispy Kreme's origins trace back to the 1930s, predating competitors like Dunkin Donuts, Tim Hortons, and virtually every other major chain you can name. They even retained the traditional donut spelling rather than adopting the simplified version most competitors now use. During the decades preceding the 1990s, Dunkin Donuts established thousands of outlets nationwide, whereas Krispy Kreme opened approximately 100 locations concentrated in southeastern regions. To clarify, operating as a regional southern enterprise isn't inherently problematic. However, if nationwide expansion is your objective, the optimal moment would have been before competitors claimed those markets. For nearly 6 decades, Krispy Kreme maintained a cautious pace, allowing rivals to secure market leadership. Moving too fast. My next point presents an interesting contradiction. During the 1990s, Scott Livingood accumulated increasing authority, becoming president in 1992, CEO 6 years following, and board chairman a year thereafter. His primary strategy involved rapidly launching locations across new territories. While this sounds risky, initial results appeared promising. Krispy Kreme quickly developed an enthusiastic, almost cult-like customer base, with people excitedly recommending this excellent donut destination to friends. As popularity grew, however, that special appeal diminished. Consumers felt it lost its exclusive charm once everyone discovered it. Additionally, such aggressive expansion makes it challenging to identify optimal locations. This requires substantial research that seemingly wasn't adequately performed, given criticism about saturating certain markets while neglecting others. Reports from that period indicated they were providing loans to franchisees, suggesting local demand fell short of profitability requirements. Quick favor, if you found this video interesting, subscribing helps us cover more rise and fall stories like this. Kindly do please. High costs. The primary attraction of Krispy Kreme, I contend, lies in their freshly made donuts prepared on-site. Back in the 1930s, when Vernon Rudolph established the original bakery, he primarily supplied local retailers. Direct public sales occurred incidentally when customers appeared during production. Over time, they installed that iconic neon indicator announcing fresh batches and added viewing windows for customers to observe the process. Yet I question whether this approach serves their business objectives effectively. Compare the complexity of launching a Krispy Kreme versus a Dunkin Donuts. Consider the equipment expenses and spatial requirements. Since Dunkin Donuts can more readily establish locations in densely populated areas, they've held a nearly insurmountable convenience advantage. Currently, Krispy Kreme operates roughly 350 American stores close to their historical peak, while Dunkin Donuts nears 10,000 locations. Worth noting, they open a massive 4,500 square foot flagship location in Times Square during 2020 unfortunate timing. Recently, Krispy Kreme has pivoted their approach to better utilize these donut production facilities distributed nationwide. Delivered fresh daily. This represents a return to their original model, producing donuts at their shops, then distributing them to nearby retailers and restaurants for customer sales. They've branded this delivered fresh daily, and I'm listing it as another potential concern. Clear advantages exist for increased sales and broader availability, but I've categorized it as potentially negative because profitability appears uncertain without substantial product demand at massive scale. Their Walmart agreement supplies fresh donuts daily to roughly 1/4 of Walmart locations, a significant arrangement. However, each Walmart must sell considerable quantities daily to justify the logistics. The experiential elements, watching production, experiencing the aroma define the Krispy Kreme brand. These aspects disappear when purchasing from Walmart. In 2024, they announced a major McDonald's partnership to supply fresh donuts to nearly all American McDonald's outlets by late 2026. After implementing this at only 2,400 of over 13,000 locations, they terminated the partnership because demand proved insufficient for profitability. This situation triggered a class action lawsuit from investors alleging company executives misrepresented demand levels. My skepticism about this delivered fresh daily strategy is understandable. Even with partnerships involving major corporations like Walmart and McDonald's, they cannot achieve profitability. Once again, they're prioritizing freshness over other considerations. Accounting scandal. Their initial public offering in 2000 raised $63 million for expansion, funding, and became one of the market's top performers. Later investigations revealed that certain 2004 figures may have been manipulated to mislead investors regarding the company's actual performance. An SEC investigation ensued. Shareholders filed lawsuits. Financial statements required correction. It was a major crisis. Their stock price crashed. Their reputation suffered lasting damage, likely contributing to declining sales and profits in subsequent years. Scott Livingood was terminated and later required to pay penalties alongside 2 other senior executives. Changing leadership. I'll acknowledge this represents a broader observation. The company's founder died during the 1970s. Throughout the 50-plus years since, stability and consistency have been lacking. Rather than detailing the entire timeline, I'll emphasize that multiple owners and leaders have come and gone with varying outcomes. Many implemented approaches different from their predecessors, yet none significantly elevated the company beyond their starting point. Most recently, mid-2025 brought announcements that both the Chief Financial Officer and Chief Growth Officer would depart. Bad investments. In 2003, they acquired Montana Mills, an upscale northeastern bakery chain, for $40 million, then recorded a $34 million loss selling it 2 years later. During that accounting scandal period, questionable dealings involving certain franchise acquisitions emerged. Krispy Kreme executives had personal relationships with these franchises, allegedly creating conflicts of interest leading to overpayment, obviously representing poor investments. More recently, they've purchased numerous franchises to gain greater control while transitioning to the delivered fresh daily model. When I mentioned doubled sales since my last video, much of that increase stems from acquiring approximately half their locations from franchisees. Revenue increased because they now directly sell those donuts. Given this supports a questionable strategy, the investments themselves become questionable. Overall, my opinion is that Krispy Kreme's investment decisions have been suboptimal. Unhealthy. This final reason is debated, but warrants inclusion. Donuts contain abundant carbohydrates, fats, and sugar. Anyone prioritizing health would likely avoid Krispy Kreme and similar establishments. However, I'd argue Krispy Kreme has suffered disproportionately from these health considerations compared to competitors. Historically, Dunkin Donuts, Tim Hortons, and other major chains have emphasized coffee sales comparatively more. Dunkin officially dropped donuts from their name in 2018, though I still use it habitually. Krispy Kreme, conversely, focuses entirely on donuts. Coffee doesn't come to mind when people think of Krispy Kreme. Their website's mission statement declares their goal to create the most awesome donuts on the planet every single day. During the mid-2000s, precisely when Krispy Kreme confronted overexpansion and accounting consequences, low-carb diets gained massive popularity in America. Early 2004 studies suggested roughly 9% of Americans followed Atkins or similar programs. Krispy Kreme identified this as their primary challenge, which oversimplifies the situation, but given their existing vulnerability, This trend could certainly have intensified their difficulties. A complex mixture of factors has challenged the Krispy Kreme brand throughout the years. Ultimately, profitability from simply selling fresh donuts proves difficult without large-scale operations and extraordinary demand, neither of which describes Krispy Kreme's reality. Share your thoughts about Krispy Kreme in the comments. My assumption is most of you consider them delicious donuts, but typically choose cheaper or more accessible alternatives. Let me know if that describes your situation. Do you agree with my analysis of their struggles? Or would you add or remove factors? I recognize this video covers extensive ground, but as mentioned initially, it's a compelling subject with substantial history. Please share any additional thoughts about Krispy Kreme in the comments. I'm interested in your perspectives. Thank you for watching.